Hello out there, my name is Milesy and welcome to my channel. For those of you who have been hanging around in the live streams and in the Discord for a while, you might have heard me talk about counterfeit floss. And I have been saying for a while now that I want to do a video on counterfeit floss, and it's just never happened. Most of that is just because, I don't know, I was so just scared of how gross it was that I didn't even want to deal with it. But I finally went ahead and did that, and this is going to be the first part of an ongoing series where I start reviewing other flosses that are just kind of out there. And I decided to start with the counterfeit floss just because it's out there and you won't oftentimes realize that's what you've bought until it gets to you. And I have two different brands of this counterfeit floss. And I got them both off Etsy trying to order DMC Light Effects floss. So not only is it counterfeit, it's counterfeit metallic. So you can probably see why I didn't want to deal with it. But, yeah, let me go ahead here and show you what this stuff looks like. And you can see how, especially from a listing on eBay, if this weren't all icky, you could very easily confuse that for some DMC. Here's another one. Yeah, that looks like DMC, doesn't it? If you weren't able to see that this here says Royal Broderie, if it wants to focus. And the other one, if I can find it, I don't know. Nope, it's run off, that's fine. Also says Royal Broderie, but it's different. So, I don't know what the deal is. And I'm going to go ahead and go through both of these, because they're pretty much the same, except for in one very particular way where they're not. The first one I'm going to go ahead and talk about is SJZYL, and I'm calling it that because that's the website listed on the label. Because on typical DMC floss, where you have your color and all of the for sale in the EU, at some point over here there's a website. And I'm not sure what DMC's website is. It's not that. So this SJ whatever floss, that's the first one I looked at, and that was the one that I looked at. I forget what the color name is for it. It's like DMC 150 something. E130. There we go. Yeah, I knew it was something like that. It's E130, and it is this really funky gem color. And at first glance, you can very easily mistake this for DMC. All of their floss is color matched to DMC, which is nice. I mean, that's how they go ahead with tricking you. I would not have bought this if I knew what it was. I was looking for genuine DMC, and they pulled a bait and switch. I'm not sure where you can even find this anymore, but I've wanted to do a video on it for a while, and now that I have, I really want to do this video. And this particular one, this SJ floss, I will call it, is surprisingly soft, despite being a light effects floss. It's got a really nice texture to it. It's not very crunchy. And that was actually one of the things that tipped me off to actually look more closely at the label when I bought it. I was like, hey, wait a minute. This might sound weird, too nice to be DMC, and then I noticed that it's not even close. But it is, yeah, undeniably counterfeit. It feels nicer, but it's not the real thing, and when it's not the real thing, you don't really know how it's going to behave. Can you wash it? Can, you do anything with it? Is it going to disintegrate in your hands? And in this case, it did actually wind up working just like DMC floss, because it's metallic and it's plastic fibers wrapped around a small cotton core. You do really have to worry about it fraying and pulling apart. So really small pieces are recommended. with this floss. You don't want to go cutting a great big piece, especially if you're someone like me. But yeah, it does also, just like DMC floss, fray really easily, and I'm pretty sure you can see that just on the edge. It does have, like I said, the cotton core, which, you know, the whole thing kind of unwinds and comes apart really easily, which DMC does too. DMC is notorious for just being shit metallic floss to work with. It looks very pretty, but it is awful to work with. So in that regard, so far this is passing actually as a decent DMC knockoff. And it does have some really nice, vibrant, sparkly colors, especially once you've stitched with it. Once I got the little test square done, I was really pleased with it. Like, I was actually kind of annoyed at how much I liked this. But overall, the SJ whatever floss that claims to be made in France, but the website was entirely in Chinese, I'm going to say this one passes. This one could almost be DMC floss that was nicked off a truck somewhere and given fake labels. It does actually come that close to being the real deal. Now, the other one, YLSZ... Try that again. YLSZX is the website that was on this floss. And, here is what I have remaining of that floss. For some reason, I can't find the other skein of it that I have. It's all tangled around some other stuff. This is what I have of it, and this was what I noticed immediately. Both skeins were just irreparably tangled up. You could not pull them out evenly. I had to just rip off the label, and there we go. It's really, really gross. But it is, like the other one, color matched to DMC. And it did not even try to pretend to be DMC when I got it out of the package. The label does look exactly like the other one. The only difference is that on the small label up here, and for some reason I can't find that one and it's driving me insane, but for some reason up here this label is printed mirror. So I'm not really sure what goes on there. It has like the label going one way and then it's printed in the reverse going the other way. You guys can probably see that a little bit better on the close-up. But, it's just chunky, it's gross, it's really thick and kind of crunchy, which is weird. And it's only 2 strands. That's all you get, are just 2 of the thickest, most enormous strands ever. The other one you do get 6 strands, and they are 6 incredibly fiddly, difficult to use strands. This one, while the edges do fray easily, because the strands are so thick, you only need 1. You don't need 2 strands, which means you don't have floss rubbing against itself all the time. So it was actually really easy to work with, and I was able to cut off a huge, enormous piece, and didn't have an instance once where the floss broke doing the entire 100-stitch test block. I'm kind of annoyed at how much I liked working with it, because it is disgusting. It also stains the fabric, and I have never seen that happen in my life. So that was weird, but it does have vibrant color, and it is super duper easy to work with. But it stains the fabric. It gets a pass for being how easy it is to work with, but just everything else is so gross. Like, I've never seen floss stain the fabric. I don't understand what's going on there, and you can kind of even see in my hand, it's really gross. And I went to this one's website, and oh my god, this website, holy cow, I think my computer got a disease. Don't go to this website. The other one, the website was decent. Like, I could tell that it was a storefront. I can't read Chinese, but that's absolutely what it was. you could probably buy floss off of there. This one, I have no idea what's going on with the website. It's gross. So there we go, 2 little reviews of some counterfeit floss that wound up being a lot better than I wanted it to be. I really was expecting and kind of wanting it to be gross just to justify my anger when I opened up the package to find that it wasn't what I ordered. But yeah, like, I'm annoyed at how much I liked it. If you know where to buy it, I don't know if I would use the Chinese site. Honestly, you might be able to still find them on Etsy, and I will double check and see if you can. But yeah, I mean, if you want some cheap light effects floss, both are pretty decent. I wouldn't get the that chunky one if you plan on doing any kind of blends or anything with it, because you won't be able to do that. But the other one will work just fine, which is weird, which probably means it'll be a lot cheaper. I'll double check on that too. But like I said, this is going to be the first in a series, and I wanted to start off with this one just because it was so weird. But I've got iris floss coming up. I've got JNP coats. I'm going to do a whole bunch of stuff. I don't know how frequently this series will be. It will depend on, I think, how much different random floss I can find to test. So I'm going to go ahead and end it there. I've got other things to do today and might even film another video. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, all that fun stuff. And I will see you guys later. Bye!